Macro the Science Bro.
Macro Science Bro.
Macro the Science Bro.
Hello, boys and girls. I am Dr. Macro, once again here to explain the most important questions that you've asked me. Why does Roadhog and now Mauga not need armor? What allows for their skin to withstand bullets? The answer is simple. Have you ever heard of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson? And if you've ever watched The Rock in WWE, you'll know that his skin was nigh indestructible. The Rock and all of his friends cannot die. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson just so happens to be a Samoan. And what is Mauga? Samoan. And what is Roadhog? Related kind of similarly to those islands. Let's cut the difference and say he's like somewhere around here. And because of this ancestral upbringing, their skin is rock solid. And if you think that what I'm saying is offensive to the Samoan people, remember that Overwatch designed the characters this way. Why are there two island people with no armor? That's not my choice. I didn't design the characters.
Macro the Science Bro.
Mauga is the 39th hero in Overwatch 2. 39? Oh my god, this roster has gotten crazy huge. And speaking of crazy huge, this man is outrageously big. But he wasn't always this big. Back in the day, Mauga was a regular sized dude, for a Samoan, and he was a mercenary. And while on a mission, he was wounded in a gunfight. But his life was saved and he was operated on by an unknown party. He woke up not only healed, but augmented to be huge, like Reinhardt-sized, but without the armor. That big. Eventually, his talents caught the attention of Talon, and he worked with them for years, where he met Baptiste. The two became BFFs and performed numerous extractions together all over the world. However, on a mission in Monte Cristo, they were ordered to kill everybody in town, which disgusted Baptiste, who tried to flee on a boat, but as he was about to leave, he was confronted by Mauga. Mauga told Baptiste that there aren't any good people, so we should just have fun. But Baptiste was like, bro, mass murder isn't fun. So Mauga let him go and never told his higher-ups where Baptiste went, so they wouldn't go after him and try to kill him. But now Baptiste owed Mauga a favor if it ever came up in the future. That day arrived on the mission in Haiti. Mauga confronted Baptiste and threatened him to help him on a mission to find Sinclair. But after finding Sinclair, Baptiste managed to escape. And now Mauga and Baptiste, two former besties, had a big shootout. And ultimately, Baptiste won, and Mauga was killed in an explosion, or so he thought. But little did he know, Mauga is back and ready to tear it up. And while he comes off super menacing in the comics and in his backstory, in-game, he's just this goofy guy. Sure, he commits mass murder on a regular basis, but he's fun and friendly. He's like Jason Momoa in the Fast and the Furious movie. What's not to love? And also, it's Mauga, not Mauga. That sounds like a song. Mauga chaka, ooga ooga, Mauga chaka, Mauga chaka. I can't stop this feeling deep inside of me. Now, technically, it comes out December 5th when the new season drops, but I was lucky enough to find a little time to play him, so you know I'm gonna explain him to you noobs out there. So now that you know who Mauga is, let's learn how to play him, shall we? Mauga's weapons are named Gunny and Cha-Cha. They are hit scan weapons that deal 4.5 damage per shot with damage fall off after 25 meters. Gunny will light enemies on fire, and Cha-Cha will deal critical damage to burnt enemies. So the goal is to fire them one at a time to maximize damage and not just go firing both all the time, although sometimes both just kind of works. Also, when fired individually, they're more accurate than they would be if they're fired together. So when you're not super close range, you definitely should fire them one at a time. But either way, for a tank, you're going to be doing so much damage. It's ridiculous. But landing critical hits is super important for his passive, Berserker. Berserker lets you gain a little bit of temporary extra health, up to 150 health, every single time you land a crit. So try and go for the head, and really be smart when switching between Cha-Cha and Gunny, because trust me, you need as much sustain as possible. So burn them all! His first ability is Cardiac Overdrive. For 15 seconds in a radius of 30 meters, you and any ally in the radius will have the ability to convert 60% of the damage dealt into healing. And since Mauga does insane amounts of damage, when this ability is active, he does insane amounts of healing. You can put out enough damage to survive some of the craziest scenarios. It's actually ridiculous. And the radius around you is pretty big, so your teammates really benefit from being right next to you and just spraying into the enemy team. His final ability is Overrun. He runs stupid fast for up to 30 meters, knocking back anyone in his path and ending on a slam that can damage, bounce enemies in the air, and even stun enemies if you land directly on them. It does 20 damage if you just collide, and 40 damage if you bounce them in the air, and a whopping 80 damage if you land directly on them. It's a great ability to quickly get out of spawn, or even use it if your whole team is dead and you just need to escape. Okay, I'm getting out! Ooh, I'm getting out! I'm getting out of my life! I got out! It can be the right move when you need to finish off weakened enemies trying to escape your guns. Also, you can outcharge a Reinhardt in a 1v1 scenario, which just further proves that Blizzard hates Reinhardt. And finally, his ultimate is Cage Fight. You deploy a barrier that traps yourself and any enemy caught in it, and it grants you unlimited ammo for 10 seconds or until it breaks. The barrier itself has 1500 health, so it can be broken, but it'll take a bit from the enemies. You and enemies will see the word trapped on the screen when they're inside, and all movement abilities are disabled, and flying enemies will be put on the ground. Any enemy who walks into it after it's been deployed will also be stuck, so Mercy's reviving their teammates will be punished for it. However, if you don't trap anyone, you'll still be stuck in the ultimate, which still has unlimited ammo, so it's not even that bad, but if you need to, you can cancel the ultimate early. I love chasing down people with your charge ability, then slamming on them, then locking them in a cage. It's just so much fun. And if timed right, with support from the team, you can easily get play of the game with this ultimate. It's that strong.
Oh my gosh.
all
I
in
know
the
how to be
cage!
huge. Oh my. Oh.
Get stuck in my cage!
They're with the tree. He tried to jump pull back down.
Oh my god, that was... Play the game, I'm spraying. Oh, I told you! You say section!
Oh! Hi, YouTube, hi!
Look at this, I stomped his ass.
I'm somewhat of a scientist myself, so you can trust me when I say that I know Mauga really well. So listen to these pro tips. Number 1, Mauga pairs well with healers who will pocket him and save him constantly because he has no shields and no real defense. He's a sponge. So Kiriko Suzu will keep you from being antied, Baptiste's immortality will keep you alive, and Baptiste and Ana's ultimates pair very well with his extreme DPS output. But in general, being a healer for Mauga is so stressful. The amount of energy you have to put in to keep this man alive is unfair. Fish, I need you on Kiriko again because you went off. I think I need all the Suzu. I need antis. I need Suzus. I need. So make sure that you thank your healers each time you get play of the game.
I want my food though.
Oh my god!
Oh! YouTube is back!
He's done it
Once
again!
again, YouTube, it's been a long time, but welcome back.
YouTube, hello. Y'all miss me.
YouTube, greetings.
You all know who. Y'all know who I
Salutations,
am.
YouTube. And YouTube adjacent.
Number 2, Mauga hard counters a lot of the tanks, as he can shred people easily in close range. So Roadhog, Ramatra, Hammond, these dudes need to keep their distance from you, as you will put a ton of damage into them every time. He's so good in close range, even Reaper can struggle versus him. But if you're good with feathering the weapons, you can be a pretty accurate hit scan character, which means that you can counter Pharah at times. And every now and then, you'll kill Pharaohs without even realizing it. You also pair very well with heroes who can make your cage match deadlier, like Torbjorn. You can cage everybody in, and he can goop all over them. It's nasty, dude.
No, it worked!
Number 3, his biggest counter by far is Ana. However, he's also countered by Sombra and Diva. Ana's anti just makes you a sponge that will die fast, and you're also really easy to sleep. You have no real way to stop the sleep from happening, so enjoy the nap. Sombra's hack also makes you a sitting duck and easy to kill for a short period, on top of the fact that her EMP will break your ultimate. And Diva, with the defense matrix up, you can't deal damage, which means you can't heal. And even if you whip out an ultimate, Diva can ult in your cage, and you're just gonna die. You think I'm locked in here with you? No, you're locked in here with me! Number 4. While the cage match stops enemies from leaving, there are some exceptions. Here are all the characters that can escape your cage match. Oh, that's it? Well, I'll be damned. Mauga is so fun to play, but I know that my supports hated playing with me on their team, as he doesn't tank as well without them, and while his damage is immense, he's easily countered by a lot of things. So honestly, he probably should get a slight buff to his healing or something, because at high levels, he is really just another Roadhog, just feeding enemies ultimates. But how is he for noobs? For noobs, I would say he's honestly hard to play. You need to be good and accurate with 2 different weapons and know when to move and use your cooldowns correctly to actually survive. I think a lot of newer players will struggle with him initially, but at lower levels, you can get away with just like spamming both left and right click. Like you don't have to think at all. But what do you think? Do you think Mauga is easy to play? Do you think he's hard to play? Do you think he's overpowered and needs nerfs or underpowered and needs buffs? Let me know in the comments down below. Okay, everybody, I gotta go teach a class on rockologies, so I'll catch you later. Yeah, noob.